It's slowly dawning on me that doing this Schlocktober week means that a whole lot of our reviews are going to be, and then this person dies, and this person dies, and this person dies, and then this person dies, and oh man, that guy died. So hopefully we can make that entertaining enough. Otherwise, it'll just be a bunch of really short reviews, which after last week might be welcome. Hey everyone, it's me, Aaron.
I'm Michelle.
And this is Thorgiween, where we're reviewing a horror film every single day, all month long. And this is our third theme week of the month. It is Schlocktober. It is just purely schlock films. If you want my definition of what counts as schlock, see the video that we did yesterday. But I did come with like a little bit of a checklist yesterday. And we are going to be with these films kind of doing the little checks and like, okay, does that count? Does that count? Did it work for this? Today we're talking about a film that came out in 2006. And I specifically wanted to pick a film that came out in the 2000s because so many people, when they think of schlock, they think of like monster movies from the 50s or from the 80s. Like mostly those two decades and sometimes stuff in between. But most people think that schlock just ended in the 90s. No. Schlock's eternal. Schlock was here before us. It'll be here long after us. So yeah, I wanted to pick something from the 2000s. And Hatchet was a film that I kept hearing so many horror fans talk about. And these days, I hear more negativity for it. Like a lot of horror fans these days are like, yeah, it's fine, whatever, yeah. But I remember when it came out, so many people were hailing this thing. So many people were applying it, and it even got advertised as it's not a sequel, it's not based on a foreign film, and it's not a remake. It's a totally original American horror. Because in the 2000s, there was a whole bunch of sequels, a whole bunch of remakes, and we were also getting like the Japanese, the J-horror wave. And this was, okay, brand new original property. So got a lot of people talking back then. And I don't remember when I first saw this, but I definitely remember loving it. And this is a slasher film. I'm not typically big on slashers. I will also say this. This is a gory film. If you've never seen this film and you're like, all right, let me see what you guys have to say about it, and I'll see if I want to watch it. I really do like this film. I really do enjoy it. But if you do not enjoy gore, it might not be for you. But I don't even know because, as I said, I don't typically enjoy gore. I'm not a gore hound. Like, I will admit, everybody loves the Terrifier films. I have yet to watch them because I know how gory they are. I'm like, that doesn't do anything for me. I find it gross. I don't like it. This is one of the goriest films out there, and it's freaking awesome.
I think it depends on like how the gore is being depicted.
And this, we mentioned it yesterday. One of the things that classifies schlock, it has to be over the top. This is so over the top. And it also has to be shocking. It has to be considered tasteless. It has to be, for lack of a better term, it has to be the kind of thing that would shock audiences out there. The kills in here are so over the top and so shocking that, yeah, it makes even me, somebody who does not care about gore and horror films, going, oh my God, you guys went for it. Way to go. Yeah, I have to applaud this film, especially because right before we watched this, we just watched the film, but right before recording this, I was like, all right, let me look up like a little behind the scenes story on this. And yeah, we also said, schlock, it doesn't have to be low budget, but it kind of helps if it's low budget. It can't be high budget, but it's better if it's low budget. This thing, they had like no money. The shooting schedule was fucked. Like they could not get anything done on this film. So the fact they were able to get these special effects to look this good, it's really impressive. Also, this is a horror film. There's another reason why this film was being so applauded back in the 2000s by horror fans when it came out, is because, yeah, horror, that 80s horror vibe had kind of died down. We were now in this weird new era, like the 90s Scream era was still kind of here, but it had died down some. Like we said, we were getting the J-horror influx. We were getting the found footage stuff. We were getting so many just sequels to old stuff. This film, it wanted to be a celebration of 80s horror. So it has got so many cameos. Robert Englund is in the very beginning of this. Freddy Krueger. Tony Todd then pops up. Candyman. And then the main villain himself is played by, I always forget his freaking name, Kane Hodder. It's played by Kane Hodder, who is considered the most famous Jason Voorhees. And Kane Hodder also in a flashback in here plays Victor Crowley's dad. And he was also the stunt coordinator in here. This dude was pulling triple duty on this film. That dude shows up to work. Way to go, Kane Hodder. But this film, it's incredibly over the top. It's incredibly graphic. It's incredibly brutal. but it's also got this big sense of humor to it. And I'm sure, like, I can feel it in my bones. The sense of humor in here is not gonna hit for everybody. But I can't lie, I've watched this thing twice now and I laughed each time. I think this film is actually pretty darn funny. This is the first time you saw it, though. How did you feel about this film?
It is very enjoyable 2000 schlock.
It's very 2000.
It is very 2000s.
The opening title sequence is done by Marilyn Manson. That lets you know when this film was made. At least it was. Marilyn Manson was big in the 90s. I was just saying, in the 2000s, well...
He kind of had a resurgence, but it wasn't as big.
Yeah, he had a resurgence in the 2000s, but it was more of a mainstream resurgence. In the 90s, it was like, oh, stay away from that guy. He's terrible.
Yeah.
But, 10 years go by, dude's willing to pop up in a couple TV shows. Dude's willing to, sign a check for, a couple movies. It's like, yeah, okay, he's a little bit more mainstream now, more acceptable. So... yeah, having him do the opening sequence for your horror film, that was mid-2000s Marilyn Manson. Absolutely. And then 2010s Marilyn Manson was, we don't talk about that. Yeah, so just to let everybody know, this was before we all realized what a big asshole he was. This thing, and it's not just like that music sequence. There's so much in here that is very 2000s. But we will get into that as it goes along. So this thing, it opens up, two fishermen out in the bayou in the swamps of Louisiana.
No, I think they were gator hunters.
Gator hunters,
yes,
yeah, good call.
Not fishermen.
He's definitely hunting for, it's Robert Englund plays the dad, and you definitely get the sense that he's kind of like Captain Ahabing this one alligator. Like, he's looking for an alligator out there. But he's got his son with him, and the son, I found out, was, you want to talk about how, this thing is just a tribute to horror. The son was played by one of the guys from Blair Witch Project.
Oh.
Yeah, didn't know that until I was looking at this up beforehand. So they're out there, and they get attacked by something out there. And then it cuts to New Orleans, and everybody's celebrating, and...
it's Mardi Gras,
it's Mardi
of course.
Gras, exactly. And we're following a group of friends. And the group of friends are played by a bunch of guys who are not important, although one of them was the director in there doing a cameo. And that's something else that I found out here. So many of the people behind the scenes on this is how low budget this thing was. So many of the people behind the scenes on this are extras in here. There's the boom mic operator is just some guy in the background at one point because they just needed somebody in there. The producer of the film is the girl who you saw throwing up. That's... producers don't normally do those kind of cameos. I was like, man, you guys had to get all hands on deck. But the two characters in there who are important are Ben, who is... if this actor has never played Shaggy in a Scooby-Doo project, that is some miscasting opportunities in there. Just super scrawny, got the goatee in there.
You want to talk about, how 2000s is, he would be the live-action version of A from Clone High.
Oh, wow! What a reference, but you're right. Very tall, very thin, got that beard, yes. Also obsessed with, the girl that dumped him, yes. Because, he is, all of his friends are having a good time. They're enjoying all the boobs in here. And there are a lot of boobs in this movie. But they're all just having a good time, except for him, because he recently got dumped by his girlfriend. And he decides he doesn't want to go off. He doesn't want to go, see boobs with his friends. And he's going to go around look for something else to do. But his friend Marcus, who was actually played by one of the child actors on The Cosby Show. He wasn't one of the members of the Cosby family, but he was a friend to one of them. But he had a recurring role in there. But so Marcus decides he's gonna be the good friend. He's going to give up the boobs to go and be with his friend and support him. So they want to go and do this swamp tour. And they originally
It's a ghost swamp tour.
It's a ghost swamp tour.
To be exact.
Exactly. And I will just say this. Marcus has so much charisma.
He does.
He is just infectiously fun in this film. And he and Ben are so different characters, but the rapport that they have with each other does make you believe that they're friends.
Yeah.
It's great. Not even it's just the little lines that they have back and forth with each other. There's one extended sequence of them walking off talking about some girl who Marcus slept with. And you can tell that's supposed to be the scene that establishes their friendship and makes the audience go, okay, they're friends. But there's another moment that I absolutely love, in which he's oh yeah, well, you're so complex that you're You lost it? Yeah, I lost it. And then like later on, they're going on, and then out of nowhere he goes, "You're Fade in high school." What? You're as complex as your Fade in high school. You lost the moment, man. Like it's such a good little tiny exchange that I really enjoy. That made me go like, yeah, I totally buy. They're friends. But Marcus, almost every line out of his mouth made me laugh. He is meant to be the jokey like source of humor sidekick character in here. But man, he's really good at it.
Yes.
He has got so much charisma.
Yeah, because like a lot of actors who play that role will take it too far.
They're just annoying.
Yeah.
They are just annoying, and you're like, I can't wait for you to die. Just please shut up. This guy, I want him to have a show. I want him to just like, man, just somebody give that dude work. I don't know what he's doing right now. I hope he's on something, because he deserves to be on something. So they go to where they can find these haunted boat tours, and the guy who's there is played by Tony Todd, with a great little misdirect by Tony Todd. I won't spoil the joke for you guys, but it is a nice little like, oh, okay, all right, I saw what you were going for there. But he says, yeah, I don't do those boat tours anymore, but if you want, try going down there. There's someone who does it. So they go down to this one place, and they go in there, and we see the rest of the cast of characters. There's one loner girl who we'll get to in a little bit, but then there's this old couple from Minnesota, or I don't know if they're from Minnesota, but they're from the Midwest.
Yes, they have that very Midwestern accent.
Yes, exactly. And then there's this video producer guy who's got two hot girls with him, who he's taking his camera out, and they're constantly taking their tops off and going, woo! And it is very much meant to be a joke on
like Girls Gone Wild.
That's what it was called, yes. Which, even by 2006, I think that was kind of dead. Like, I think the moment that the internet became more popular, that thing died quickly.
Yeah. It's like now we have easier access to boobs.
Yeah, dude, if you want porn, it's everywhere. Like, you don't have to worry about that. At least until the payment processors get out of control. Anywho, that's a whole other topic. But yeah, he is definitely trying to do some kind of a spin-off of Girls Gone Wild. Like, that's clearly the thing they're paying homage to. Which I just realized, for any of the younger folks out there, Girls Gone Wild, back like right before the internet blew up. Like, the internet was a thing, but it was not like you couldn't watch videos on at this point. Like, it was cheap. There were DVDs that they would sell just called Girls Gone Wild, and it was just camera crews going to places where there were parties and getting girls to take their tops off on camera, and then they just like put that onto DVDs and sold them out. And it's one of the sleaziest fucking things that I've ever heard of. Because, like, listen, when I was a dumb teenager, I was like, boobs. Like, I didn't think about it. But now, like, as an adult looking back at that, I was like, oh my God, you got a bunch of women drunk and got them to expose themselves and then sign away the rights to it when they were not in their right mind. Oh, I hope all those guys got sued to hell. Like, fuck those guys.
Also, I think some of those women were underage at the time.
I know in there's the video game equivalent called the Guy Game, which is now an illegal game because one of the girls in there, like, this is a notorious story. Like, everybody knows this story because it is like, oh, why can't you buy that game anymore? Oh, because it's literally illegal. It's literally like if you are found possessing it, you can go to jail because it was revealed that one of the girls who was in there was only 17 at the time, meaning that game is the child pornography game. So it's like, oh, okay. But when you think about Girls Gone Wild, it's like, statistically, they were pumping those things out like once a month or something at the height of its popularity. And with how many girls they were getting in there, statistically speaking, yeah, there were definitely some underage girls in there. Like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I really hope that everybody involved with that got sued to hell, like lost all their fucking money and went all to the girls who were in there. Like, just it's one of those things that makes you look back and go, wow, the fact that we allowed that to exist.
Yep.
Fuck that.
That's the 2000s for you.
Yeah, that's another sign that this is very 2000s. Like, if somebody watches this now, who, you know, they're only like 20 years old or something, they might watch this now and be like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. But anyway, so that's our main group of characters. It's the three people with Bayou Beavers is the name of the shoot. Then it's the two Midwestern folks. Then it's our two main characters. And then it's the one loner girl who's there. And then the tour guide comes out. And he's this Asian guy who's wearing like a top hat and a cape doing the worst Bayou accent you have ever heard.
Cajun accent?
Cajun accent, yeah. Doing like the worst Cajun accent you've ever heard. And it becomes clear real quick he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
It becomes clear real quick. We also get my favorite joke in the entire film, which I don't want to spoil jokes, but this one, it's so good. I like the delivery on it is just perfect. The guy says, all right, it'll be $40. And he goes, wow, $40 for a tour, which inflation makes me think that's a steal these days. That thing would be going for $100 each these days. But Ben starts rooting around in his pockets, and then Marcus roots around in his pocket and goes, hey man, can you spot me? He goes, why, you don't have any money? No, I'm just not paying for this shit. That's the kind, like, again, that line delivery is just, it's one of those things that makes you just like Marcus so much. He's such a likable character. So they get on this bus and they start going around, and Sean is the name of the tour guide. And he is giving like little facts about like the cemeteries.
No, like they go to, the cemeteries. They pass the cemeteries before they go to the swamp and everything.
And you can see that Sean is taking out note cards while he's driving, trying to read it. Like he doesn't know what he's talking about. And the Minnesotan guy, who, by the way, is played by Richard... I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's the guy from Office Space. The guy from Office Space who came up with the jump to conclusion joke. It's that guy. You've seen him in stuff. This film is loaded with, oh, I know that guy. So it's him playing the old Minnesotan guy. And I should say the guy who runs the Bayou Beavers thing is played by, I can't remember his name either, but it's Bill Murray's brother. It is Joel Murray, who out of
Billy and Joel, like,
oh my god! I mean, they're both like 70 years old, so no way their parents do that on purpose. Obviously not, but yeah, it's like, oh wow, never thought about that. But yeah, it's played by Joel Murray. Like I said, this film, even if you're not a horror fan, this film is still low with people that's like, oh, it's that guy. But so like, Sean's trying to give facts about like the spooky ghost facts about the cemetery, whereas the Minnesotan couple is going like, no, actually, I think that's because of this thing.
Mm-hmm. Like he said, they have to like put cement in the graves, in the tombstones to prevent the bodies from rising, and like, isn't it because the water from the rivers,
the
water levels rising, that they had to like do that? And it's like,
and I was just sitting there, I was like, okay, listen, I know that Sean is definitely a con artist, like he's definitely like has no idea what he's doing, but at the same time, who goes on a ghost tour with like facts? Like, no, the entire point of the ghost tour is you're supposed to sit there and just like let yourself be washed over by it. Like, these are the actually people in real life is what it is. They are they're on this tour. They get to a boat, and then they're like racing out to the boat. Which, by the way, Sean is racing them off the bus onto the boat so quickly. I keep thinking, does he even own that boat? He tries to start up the boat. And as they're starting up the boat, someone is screaming out, hey, Victor Crowley, the swamp is off limits. It's closed, Victor Crowley. And they're just like, what's he yelling about? And they're like, oh, you don't pay attention to that guy. He drinks his own piss. And then there's like a joke after that where they leave and he like takes out a big jug of something yellow and takes a swig of it.
And you assume that it is.
You can make the assumption.
Yes, you can connect the dots.
Yes. But he's trying to start up the boat, and it is not starting. But then it finally goes, and so it's making me think of like, okay, you get the sense that obviously this boat is about to like crap out at any moment. But just the way that he was trying to raise people onto it was like, I don't even think that's your boat. So we go through that.
I think the reason, like, I don't know how much of a spoiler this is, but like the swamp that they go to is off limits.
That could be it. That could be.
So I think like, that's why he
didn't want anyone to see him. That's probably what it was. That's more than likely what it is. Yeah, because he did mention later on. He mentions having done this before, so it's like okay. But so they go on the tour, and then the boat breaks down and starts raining real heavy, and the boat starts sinking. And they have to get off the boat, and then one of them gets attacked by an alligator. The older Minnesotan guy gets attacked by an alligator. So now you got an injured man. They're in the middle of nowhere. They have to get to the road. And then the mysterious girl, who's been quiet this whole time, reveals that she is here for Victor Crowley. Her father and brother were the two guys that we saw at the beginning of the film. They went missing, and she thinks that Victor Crowley got him.
And it's so weird to think that she's like related to them, because they're the most stereotypical like backwater hillbillies ever, and she just seems like a bit more sophisticated.
She is very much like, she does not, yeah, exactly. Like, you would not have assumed that she was lining up with those guys. So she fills them in on Victor Crowley. Victor Crowley was this deformed kid who was teased by all the other kids, and his dad kept him out in a shack to keep him away from society. Not because he was like, he like hated his kid or anything, but because like, no, everybody's trying to torture my kid. So he's like, for his own safety.
Yeah, he was actually trying to be a good dad.
He's a good dad, yeah. Which, by the way, once again, played by Kane Hodder. Wanted to do, and Kane Hodder mentioned he wanted to do more dramatic roles. So it's like, all right, this is something for you. All right, way to go. But we then see that one night some kids came by, set the cabin on fire, and then Victor Crowley's dad tries to burst in, so he takes a hatchet and tries to chop down the door. Victor was right behind the door, got his head caved in, and it killed him. And then years went by, and his dad passed away too. But they still say that you can hear Victor Crowley out there. And that's when we get introduced to Victor Crowley. And he comes running out, screaming like mad, and starts chasing them down, and immediately takes out... I'm not even going to worry about this being a spoiler, because it's like, it's set up so much that it's like, no, you're the first two who are going to die. He takes out the Minnesotan couple. He takes out the Midwestern couple. And these kills immediately let you know what the rest of this film is. They are so over the top. It's like I said, I'm not into gore. I don't care about that. It's not my thing. And I was like, I gotta applaud you on that. That was impressive. Yeah, I won't say exactly what he did, but it's one like body parts go flying in this, and
you see so much blood. Like, there's so many scenes of like blood splattering here and there and everywhere,
and body parts being ripped in ways that is like, I didn't think that was possible. I don't physically think that's real, and I don't want to know if it is. But yeah, it's over the top. But also, that's the thing. This is why I like the Terrifier films. I'm just like, I don't want to. We're gonna do them eventually, but I don't want to do them. Because I've seen little bits of those, and they try and make it look real. Like, if somebody's face actually got ripped off, what would it look like? It's like, I don't want to look at that, man. This does not look real.
No.
But it's enjoyably fake.
Yes.
I'll say that.
Yes.
Like, it's the kind of way in which is like, man, I don't draw any, like, pleasure from seeing, like, an actual body like that. But you see something that is very clearly like a puppet that's just splattered everywhere. It's like, yeah, go for it, man. Go nuts. Have fun with this thing. Yeah, I'll put it like this. For anybody out there who is another fighting game player out there, I don't like the fatalities in modern day Mortal Kombat games because it's like, oh, God, you're just showing me like people's actual organs being torn apart. I love the fatalities in the older games because they were dumb. They were really dumb. That's what this is. This is dumb gore is what it is, and that's the kind of gore that I like. So, the rest of this film from this point on is these characters running around the swamp trying to avoid Victor Crowley. And there's actually kind of an interesting mystery about Victor Crowley because right after he kills the woman who came looking for him, she pulls out her gun and she shoots him in the chest and he goes down. Then she still goes running off because she's still scared out of her mind. But she's like, okay, well, I shot him, but you can't shoot a ghost, can you? He's back again just fine. And that's not the only time in this film that they kill Victor Crowley. And then he's back just fine with no explanation. And it's like, okay, is he a ghost that can, like, just interact with the real world? And for some reason, you can also kill him temporarily? Is he like a zombie that
I don't know.
I
feel like it's more like a Michael Myers kind, or like
Jason would be a better
or Jason thing, where like he's just so strong and powerful that you can't really kill him.
It's one of those where it's like, I don't know what the deal with this is,
because like the original story, like, he gets killed with a hatchet in his head, but then you see him, and you see the indent in his head where the hatchet was, so it's like, oh shit, did he actually survive?
Yeah, and I do like that about this film. It's like, I'm not gonna say that, like, there's a lot of great lore around Victor Crowley. Listen, as much as I like this film, I'm not gonna, like, list Victor Crowley on, like, one of the best horror movie films of all time list.
Maybe just make a best schlock horror movie.
I'd add that, yeah. But I do appreciate how over the top he is. Like, that is the fun thing about Victor Crowley. They just go for it. And that's what this entire film is. They just go for it. And like I said, I was looking up, like, behind the scenes stuff on the making of this. the fact that any of this got made at all is amazing because, like, their shooting schedule got completely fucked. They had bad weather for most of it. They had to film this in the desert in California and had to make it look like a swamp. They had to this was not actually in New Orleans. They had to, except for like in the beginning. The beginning was in New Orleans. But all the swamp stuff was in a desert in California that they had to make look like a swamp. The shack that they built, they had to tear it down because the fire marshal came in and said it was too close to a tree. So yeah, and then
like the rain sequences, were those like real? Was that actual real rain?
No, that was fake rain because I don't think they could film with real rain. So the real rain made them not be able to shoot.
Okay.
Plus that rain tied into the plot, so it's not like they could have lined that up.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it's also like you can look at it and tell like, no, that's coming from fake rain. Like you can tell there's some fake rain that looks real, there's some fake rain that looks fake. This fake rain looks fake.
Yes, I just wasn't sure like if they were like trying to like improvise or get through the weather.
I would have admired that, but I think you need special cameras for that. They might not have had the special cameras for that. But also, like, you have no idea when the fake rain will stop. That's the other thing.
You don't know when the real rain will stop?
Sorry, yeah, you don't know when real rain will stop, so you can't really improvise on that.
Right.
And then to top it all off, their shooting schedule got cut even shorter because a TV show booked the same area for the same time, and rather than working something out, the TV show put a helicopter on set to just fuck with them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What a dick move.
Dick move. So yeah, it's crazy that this thing got made at all. And like I said, one of the rules that we had for Schlock is that there has to be passion behind it. You have to have actually been trying. Man, the fact that this got made, there was passion behind it. And also, another behind-the-scenes story that I heard that I gotta give credit to, Kane Hodder, he wanted nobody to see him in the Victor Crowley makeup until they saw him for the first time, so the reactions would be genuine. But he was also the stunt coordinator. So he would be in the Victor Crowley makeup, but then have like almost like a mattress like wrapped around him, like just blankets all over him. So he'd be explaining to people how to do the stunt, and they would just see like this big hunched over cloaked figure giving them the instructions with no idea of what was underneath. And he would even like just randomly scream at them to freak them out, like from the darkness when they couldn't see them, just to make them go like, oh fuck, it's coming. I don't know what this is. I'm so tense and on edge. Yeah, he was just fucking with them the entire time. And even when they yelled cut, he would keep running after them for a period of time just to keep them like on edge and keep their adrenaline up. Like, goddamn, that must have been hell on set. But man, I respect his dedication to this. Yeah. Also, found this out, the child Victor Crowley was played by another one of the producers, and she and the director ended up getting married for a little bit after this. That's kind of nice. But yeah, everything after this, again, it's just people like, from this point on, it's just me either describing the kills or it's just me telling you what the jokes are. But I will say, there are some really nice misdirects in here. There are, like, I did continuously laugh at a bunch of jokes. There is one misdirect that I love where it is so making you look there. It is putting all of your focus right there on that spot. And I'm not going to say any more, but I love that they made you look in one way and the monster did not come from that direction. That's all I'll say. Yeah, they set that up great. Yeah, I think that this is just a genuinely fun slasher schlock film. And this is another one of those films that, like I just say, it's schlock with just a bunch of love. Only real negative, some of the acting, not all that great. I mean, it's schlock. It's like, all right, why you gotta criticize it? And like the good acting in here is good enough that's like, yeah, it's memorable. Like I said, Marcus is one of those characters that has stuck with me for years. I also really like, okay, I hated Sean's actor because his Cajun accent was so bad. And I was like, okay, it's obviously meant to be bad. Then we get a revelation. We get a new accent out of him. I was like, that's also like equally as bad. That's horrible. I won't say anything more, but then you get a third revelation about him. I was like, okay, now I'm actually invested. And I will just say, like, this is a film in which, like, there's not a lot of survivors in this. But his actor comes back in each of the Hatchet sequels, but playing a different character. And I just think that's genius. I just like that. I think it's fun. Yeah, there's just so many things in here that's like, oh god, it's just fun. There's nothing special to it. This isn't like a big moving thing. It's not one of those films that's gonna be like, oh man, this will stick with me forever. And like I said, opinions have really started to turn on this film over the years, and I get it. Once the initial shock factor of it's gone, I understand it's not going to hit you as much, but yeah, this is a fun movie. It's just really fun. If you got the stomach for it, I'll say that.
Yeah. But like, even so, like most of the gore, like you said, is just like so silly and over the top that
you gotta have. I say this as somebody who does not like gore. I think you have to have a weak stomach to be upset by this gore, which is saying something when you see the extent of gore that's in here.
Honestly, I think you'd be sick of the boobs first before you get sick of the gore.
I honestly was trying to be like, all right, man, you gotta. I get it, man. You're showing off the boobs in here. Yeah, it's okay. Because, yeah, like we said, there's two people there trying to do a Girls Gone Wild thing, and I'm just like, all right, man, you only really need to do that in the beginning and set this up. I will say that's also one of the other negatives. Out of all the characters who I didn't like in here, the two girls involved in the Girls Gone Wild thing, like, they have this, like, real rivalry relationship with each other, just constantly bickering it back and forth each other. That got kind of old, fast. Not that you couldn't make that fun. I just don't think that the film really did make that fun. And, like, one of them is supposed to be smart, one of them is supposed to be dumb. I didn't think the smart one was smart enough to be smart, and I thought the dumb one was like, okay, nobody's that dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, all right, yeah, those are the two characters that was like, they don't really work for me in here. I mean, I like the idea of what they were going for. Like I said, the dumb girl and the smart girl having like a rivalry with each other, like, that could be fun. You could do good jokes with that. I just didn't. They're the one jokes that I was like, nah, that doesn't really work for me. Anything else you want to add in here?
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's, again, Schlocktober. Man, after doing International Horror Movie Week, this is like a breath of fresh air. Just like, yeah, man, I don't have to say shit like people die, and it's good, and it's fun. It's do that. All right, great. I'm going to give this a solid B. It's just right. It's like smack dab. Like, this is a perfect B schlock.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah. I guess we want to go into spoiler stuff. They'd just be describing the kills themselves.
Yeah.
But there are some that are worth getting. Like, I really did like the reveal that was made with Shapiro, who was the Bayou Beaver director guy, in which after he dies, they find his wallet and it gets revealed like that was a fake name they were giving. And also, he's got two business cards. Here's his real business card. He is not a director. He is not a filmmaker. He does not actually work with Bayou Beavers. Which I will say, one of my favorite jokes in here is when the old Minnesotan guy is like, oh, so what kind of movie are you making? And he's going, you ever heard of Bayou Beavers? And the guy goes, yeah. And the girl and his wife goes, no.
Like, no. And then he says, no.
The correct, again, his actor, I am sorry that I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but his actor has got really good delivery on stuff like that. He is known for that. And yeah, that was great. But yeah, they discover like, oh, he doesn't actually work for Bayou Beavers. He just tells women that he does and gets them to take their tops off for him, and he films it, and then it's just his own personal spank thing. It's like, yeah, just real piece of shit character. Somehow even more, actually, you know what? Equally piece of shit as the real world Girls Gone Wild guys. I was about to say, yeah, he's even more of a piece of shit than the Girls Gone Wild guys. Like, I was like, no, it's pretty even.
Yeah.
In fact, in a weird way, he might even be less sleazy than those guys, because he at least didn't share that to the world.
Yeah, he didn't make money off of them.
Yeah. So, what was I going to say then? As far as the other kills in here go, I do really love the misdirect kill of that entire exchange. Like, they just hold on them for a while. I don't even think there's a cut in there in which it is them going, somebody go and investigate this. Why me? Because you're the one with the flashlight. Smacks the flashlight into Sean's chest. And it's just like, fine, I see how it is, motherfuckers. All right, yeah. And it just goes over there to investigate. And then as he investigates, then Victor Crowley comes up and snatches one of them from behind. It's like, God damn, that's a really good misdirect. I do also love the reveal with Sean, because like I said, it then gets revealed pretty early on, like he's doing a fake Cajun accent, and he has an Asian accent underneath it. But his Asian accent is even worse than the Cajun accent.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, this feels real bad. And then there comes a moment in which him and Marcus are fighting, and he pushes him too far, and then his real voice comes out. And it's just like, there's like just American accent.
Yeah, he's like, he says he's like from Detroit, and he like just got this job like 2 days ago or something because he wanted to make a quick buck or something.
And the thing is, like, I understand they're doing the Cajun accent to try and sell that. why is he then doing the fake Asian accent on top of that? I don't think there was an explanation for that.
I don't know. Maybe it's because he didn't want them to think that he knew English, so he would be able to get away with.
Maybe they wouldn't judge him as harshly or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's never explained.
That's just my theory.
But I will say, like, they don't give him time to explain, because as soon as he like reveals what his real voice is, I do love the delivery on. Okay. Like, he just realizes he's been caught, and he just, like, has to pause and be like, well, we all said some things. Like, just basically, he tries to de-escalate the situation where it's like, no, you've been caught in a double lie, motherfucker. And I love it, they just sort of like, no, fuck you, and they just start beating his ass. But yeah, that character went from being like, I hate this character, to at the very end, I was like, oh, okay, you're kind of fun and charming like everybody else. And I will say, I liked the final kill of, when the girl gets knocked in the water and she's trying to come up, and then she sees Ben's hand there, which, by the way, I never even mentioned this, but Ben's wearing a, what's the comic book store? Newberry.
Yes.
Yeah, he's wearing a Newberry comic shop shirt, and I was like, did they sponsor this? I looked it up. No, they did not sponsor this. It's just that the director grew up in Massachusetts and he liked Newberry comics, so he wanted to give them a shout out. It's like, oh, okay.
That's cool.
That is cool, but it is so, like, it's got Newberry comics written all over the back of the shirt, and I'm just like, this feels like product placement. It's not, because nobody was paid. He just wanted to give a shout out, and I appreciate that. I think that that's great to do, but it's like, you should have picked a different shirt. But yeah, I love that at the end. She's swimming up to grab Ben's hand. She grabs it, gets pulled up. It's revealed Victor Crowley jumped up onto the ship, killed Ben, ripped his arms off, and now is using that to pull her back up. And then it just ends.
Yeah, I literally asked you, that's it?
Yeah.
It's so, like...
It is worse than the Universal films.
Yeah, because it's like, at least the Universal films, like, you see the climax. But, like, with this, it, like, cuts away as soon, like, halfway through the climax.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, you don't see if she dies, or if the villain dies, or...
I've never seen the sequel, so I don't even know if she's alive in that one.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think, who knows? Maybe we'll watch that next year. But yeah, I do really, this film, it's brain dead, but it's fun. It is a fun film. And a lot of that is just simply, like, how over the top they go with it, and the charisma of the actors in here. Like, everybody just deserves applause.
Also, like, it does catch you off guard every now and then.
It does. It is, like we said, schlock has to be shocking. It is shocking. It does make you go, holy shit. Like, it passes that test. Yeah, it definitely checks that off. Yeah, so anything else you want to say?
That's pretty much it.
There we go. All right, so come back tomorrow. We talked about how in this film, it had a really troubled production. And when I was thinking about the troubled production, I realized what the film tomorrow needs to be. And this is one that I've never seen. And I will also say, this is a film that the last two schlock films we watched, we love. We think that they're great. They're a lot of fun. I have never seen the one we'll watch tomorrow, but I have heard everyone say this is one of the biggest pieces of shit. It is horrible. But the story about the making of it is so good. I'm like, all right, I gotta finally watch this, and it definitely counts for schlock. We're watching Spookies tomorrow. Come back tomorrow, everybody.
Bye.